and played as long as he did and did as well as he did, he's earned the right to basically say who's good and who's bad. And
Hmm.
he flat out said it. He said, look, it's Baker's not very good. And he said he's running people out of that locker room left and right. And weirdly enough, a couple other guys agreed with them, but which I didn't think was going to happen, but they did. Michael Irvin don't usually agree with people when it comes to that kind of stuff, but he did. And
Hmm.
um, and that female, I can't think of her name right now. She's been on, I guess, I don't know if it's NFL Network or
They know
ESPN
what you're talking
forever.
about. She's been on there for a while.
Forever, yeah. She actually even agreed with him, and he was very blunt about it. And I got to say, he's not really wrong. I mean, Baker's good to a degree. He's in the NFL. He's a good quarterback, but he's not great yet. And I don't know if he'll ever be to that elite status. I mean, there's, again, we've talked about this elite quarterback situation. Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show. I was going to bring this up.
Hmm.
And he was talking about Mahomes. And McAfee said, what do you think about Mahomes' situation with what's going on this year and his interceptions and the things like this? He goes, I'm not worried about Mahomes at all. And he said,
There's
McAfee
bad
said,
sports in every season. Yeah.
well, he said, you're not. He said, not a bit. He said, a transitional player like Mahomes, he said, everyone, if you take Brady, you take Manning, you take Montana, you take anyone, even if you want to even look at, he said, Brett Favre, he said, if you want to throw myself included, we all have one of those seasons, whether it be because of a mental issue, a mental block, just the fact that things have changed. He said, if out of all the people in the NFL right now, he is the last person I'm worried about. He
Hmm.
will come back from this stronger than ever. He said, I see this happening sooner than later. And I actually, I like Aaron Rodgers in a lot of ways. I think he's probably a little over the top in certain ways, but he speaks his mind and he doesn't
Hmm.
lie about it. He's going to tell you whether somebody's doing good or doing bad. And if he's going to say they're, whether they're friends or not, he's going to say, hey, this is what I think of them. This is what I don't think of them. And he flat out said it. And he's right. Mahomes is an elite talent. There's very few elite talent quarterbacks in what I would consider elite in this league.
Hmm.
Rodgers is elite. Okay. I think Mahomes, without a doubt, is an elite quarterback.
Hmm.
There's not very many that you can sit there and say they're absolutely an elite quarterback in every way that, the one thing that's posted on Twitter and on a couple of guys' pages is I've never been around someone that can throw a ball from every inch of the field and be almost dead accurate on every inch of the field. Mahomes is. Everybody has said that. Von Miller has said it. I mean, everybody has said it about this guy. He's going through a time right now that we know part of it, and we're not going to get into it. And there's other things, but it's it's something that he'll get out of and he'll grow from, and he's going to be right back to where he was in his form and I think it's going to happen really quick. But again, it's there's not very many elite quarterbacks in this league right now. There's great quarterbacks, there's good quarterbacks, there's elite quarterbacks, and there's only a couple elites that are left. There really is. I mean, there's great ones out there. There's good ones out there. There's above average, I guess you can consider that. I don't
Yeah.
think, everybody's jocking up Josh Allen right now. I mean, I can't consider him an elite quarterback right now. I mean, has he won a Super
They
Bowl?
don't ever
No,
really play in anyone.
they're not. And the thing is, yeah, they beat us, but that was a time in our season
Season.
that
It's a long season.
it's a long season. And it was a time in our season when things just weren't going right. And look here, again, I would almost put Herbert in a situation that I would say, okay, this kid has an opportunity. In fact, I would almost say, and this may be unpopular, but I would say he's a better quarterback than Baker. And
Hmm.
the reason I say that is because
Hmm.
he's got more football IQ. He's way more grounded.
Hmm.
Um, he's more accurate, and um, he reads the field a lot better, in my opinion. He does it with a lot less talent. Okay, you got to look at the talent levels too. look at the talent level that Baker has got and has had over the last basically 2-3 seasons compared to Herbert. Herbert's had nobody compared to what he's had. OBJ and all these other guys that Baker's had. Who the hell has Herbert had? One wide receiver that you can say is actually.
Keenan Allen's pretty good. I mean,
That's who it is.
Mike Williams has showed up. I mean,
now, but I mean, it's not. They're not OBJ. They're not. Who is it? Jarvis Landry. They're not any of these guys that you would expect to be out there in this elite wide receiver group of guys that got surrounded by, that Baker got surrounded by, and he didn't utilize it correctly. And at the beginning of the season, I actually thought he was going to. When he played us, I thought, wow, now this guy has really stepped up, and he's done very well with it. And now he's got half the team pissed off.
JP, injuries have kind of derailed their season.
And it has.
Give Baker his credit. He's gone out there with basically a messed up shoulder and still been going out there.
I got to give him that. I will give him that. I'm not going to take it away from him.
I think he's still learning as a leader, but what we've seen is probably his arrogance comes off as rudeness to some people. And I really don't think he means that, but he's been doubted all his life if you look at the story of Baker Mayfield, and I see why he kind of always pushes the way he wants. He pushes the way he does is in order to command respect and, like, let's get things done. And I think what we see, I don't know, maybe it was OBJ or not, but yeah, man, he's kind of underproduced. And it's really weird. It's like, how are you missing OBJ? Now, be fair, the Browns look like a better team without OBJ, if I'm just being personally honest. So this is probably a good move in general to move on.
Yeah.
But what I really think what's going to happen in the day is, look, if the Chiefs can get him, that'd be great. Because I said earlier, they can't guard everyone, even on the off chance that he can show up for us. Or even if the off chance when it comes to him being there, people have to fear him because they don't know what he's going to do. That's important.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I agree. I think we have the same thing with Josh. I think it's just not being utilized. And that's a product of one individual. Imagine
Tyreek Hill, Josh Gordon, Travis Kelce, and Odell Beckham Jr. If we get Odell for a quote unquote, if we get him for a veteran league minimum deal, if he wants to win, he'll come here. If he goes to like the 49ers, they're not going to do nothing. He goes to like the Giants. I don't know why he would go to the Giants. Literally, I can understand maybe him going to maybe with Aaron Rodgers, but they're on their old issue with COVID and all that stuff right now. But even, man, I'll be adding a Sean Jackson. I mean, a fan can dream, but at the end of the day,
yeah,
I think adding another receiver could help.
I think part of the problem too is that he wants to be one, he really wants to be a number one wide receiver. He's got some diva aspects to him, and that just doesn't work really well in our system. It never has. And I just don't know if that would work out with us. I mean, if Andy could work with them, and honestly, I mean, look, anybody that is on that's cut and goes on and then passes waivers, I guarantee you other teams that got cap money are going to go after him to keep us from getting him.
I'll be fair though, man. This is the thing. Does he want to win a Super Bowl, or does he want to just have money? That's the same thing I said with Whitley Merciless. He was with the Texans for many years. Does he want Super Bowl, or does he want money? He chose the Packers. And now what? 5 of their players now have COVID. Now it's possibly going to derail their season after they just beat the undefeated Cardinals. Yeah. So I'm just saying, man, look, that was an unforeseen problem we see in their locker room. Luckily, the Chiefs aren't dealing with that. But I feel like if you're a player, a veteran player in your last few years of deal, you want to win. You need to go who you think gives you the best chance. Now, granted, he thought the Packers were the good chance. Oh, well, that's his decision. But look, I really feel like the Chiefs could turn a new leaf. I really do. But maybe he doesn't get cut till next week or something. The Chiefs can win a game or two. So it just kind of shows how the Chiefs play if they can get someone.
We got Deshaun Jackson too.
Well, yeah, what do you think about him? I just don't think Deshaun Jackson, I feel like he just gets injured too much. I feel like having an Odell Beckham Jr. at least scares people. Having Deshaun Jackson, all he does is the umbrella is the thing. He just breaks the umbrella, but that's kind of about it.
Yeah, and the thing is,
I don't see a resurgence with him as I see with OBJ.
Well, you got to remember, OBJ is still injured, and if he got cut tomorrow, he wouldn't pass. I mean, I don't know if he'd pass waivers or pass a physical, but because they're two different things. But somebody would pick him up, I'm sure. And if the Chiefs decided to go for him and he wanted to come here, that would be a different thing. It would have to be a very, very cap friendly deal. But
oh yeah, and I don't see like this is why we're already halfway through the season. Why not? This is like you said, man. This would be under $1 million deal. We could do a veteran minimum.
Yeah, if
Maybe
he
give
wanted
him
to
$1
do
million.
that, yeah, if he
I
wanted
think
to
it
do
could
it,
work. I
because he's going
really
to get paid if he gets cut, so he's
But
going to get
the
his
thing
guarantee.
is, check the ego at the door. That's the only issue. Check the ego at the door. And
That's
I
the
don't really
biggest
know if he
thing.
has a big ego. I know that people in New York said, well, he does this and he does that. I'm like, look, yeah, I mean, football players are gonna have different mindsets and personalities. They're gonna do stuff differently. OBJ acted the way he did for some reasons because he was that good at the time. So you really can't fault the guy. But I understand where they're coming from. But I think just having someone like him could help.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson, though, man, I'm not really for sure. I just feel like he wouldn't do much.
Well, here's the
That's just
crazy
my
part. So you had
he
some
could do
outlets
stuff.
out there that with Deshaun, you know, the first thing that came out of their mouth was, he won't pass waivers. And then,
Oh, he
of
passed
course,
waivers.
he passed waivers with flying colors. But a day before he passed waivers, they completely contradicted themselves and said, I think he'll pass waivers. So I knew he was going to, and somebody had asked me, and I said, I think he'll do just fine. I mean, I
Oh
don't see
yeah,
why
no
he
one's
wouldn't
gonna pay
pass
that
waivers.
contract. No one's gonna pay a contract when you get him cheaper.
Exactly.
That's
But
the
I knew
thing.
he was going to pass waivers. I mean, that wasn't the issue. Um, I knew he was getting cut, and I think I told somebody, I don't remember who it was, that he was getting cut prior to that. It might have been you.
Mhm.
And maybe somebody else. But I said he's getting cut, and when it happens, I think, you know, with his maybe relationship with Andy Reid, he may want to come here. I don't know, but again, it's going to have to be a situation that somebody fits within the system. It makes sense,
Mhm.
and I don't know. Look, we made a great move with Ingram.
Yeah, I think that was a phenomenal move.
There is still a little bit of I guess, a question mark on the defensive line. And I know that they were looking to add some help there to a degree. Um, I don't know if they're still. I know that Veach was waiting to see who else hit the streets before he made a decision. He's worked on 3 or 4 other players, and you know, I'm not gonna. You know, there are a lot of people out there banging Veach again, and he hasn't done anything wrong.
Mhm.
He can't. He can only fix so much, and there's certain things that you can't fix overnight. Again, I've said this numerous times. I don't know why people are they got so much hatred towards this man over one. You know, okay,
Well,
look,
and maybe it was partially my fault because I did say Veach did an overinvest on offensive line, and I feel like that is true. You could draft, but he brought in several players during free agency.
well,
And
I
maybe
understand
I
that
was
part,
wrong
but
for that, but there are some things he has done great. And I would have to say, and as our good friend Philip, he said literally, I think it was in June or July, that Creed Humphreys and Nick Bolton are 2 steals of the draft that no one was looking at.
yeah,
And Trey
and
Smith. Those are
yeah,
steals, and Brett Veach found him. So Brett
yeah,
Veach knows what he's doing. Now you're not gonna hit on every single pick, but I think what we come in the realization and realize is this: there are gonna be certain things that work. There are gonna be some things that don't.
everything's a gamble.
Everything's a
Everything is a
gamble.
gamble. I mean,
But Veach is making strategic moves, and now when I look at it, okay, it makes sense. They knew they had a feeling. Okay, there's a good chance LDT is not going to be here. We can get some money cap relief. So let's get an extra person. Different things like that. Now, did I feel like maybe he got maybe one too many offensive linemen? That's how I felt personally. But the way it's looking like, it may work out. So that's all I'm going to say there.
and the thing is, look, if you're gonna bash a guy for trading away a 6th round pick, or sit there and say he's a terrible drafter and he doesn't know what he's doing, which I've seen on our page numerous times. It was a fail on his side. He failed. He failed. He failed. He failed. Look, just go back and look at Trey Smith. Go back and look at Creed. Go back and look at Nick Bolton, and all the other players that they don't really think about because he wasn't the GM at the time, but beat down doors for us to get, like Patrick Mahomes. And he was the reason why we got, you know, really Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt and a lot of other players that we've had over the time. Yeah, Kareem's not here any longer, but he was a phenomenal player. So he is great at what he does. Look, everything is a roulette table. And that is the worst thing you can gamble on in a casino. That you got